Sarah Adio. I'm here at ADF Fit in our awesome bar studio. In this crazy world, this crazy need, this crazy uncertainty, we're going to be bringing our incredible classes to you online. I'm going to start here in the bar studio with my trusty, lovely chair. So today, I'm just going to quickly talk about what you need for our bar classes to be successful at home. A few things. You don't have, obviously, a bar. You have an island, something sturdy, or a very sturdy chair, which I have here. All this will work. You need weights, mats. You can grab your towel and your water. If you have a ball, which we have around here, I'll be posting this online as well, where you can get these playground, even a soccer ball if you don't want to go outside. Anything is really doable, but we'll discuss that. So with this lovely chair that you would use, again, it has to be as sturdy as you can have, or place books or something that would levy yourself and your body weight would be perfect. But you can use it right at this height. It's not perfect, but it's gonna be awesome. And you can walk yourself down, maybe lean a little bit forward when you're using this, or if I'm in the heel flat position, which you'll see in the bar classes, you just have to pitch a little bit forward, unless this lovely thing is weighted down to counterbalance you. Then you'll have the success that you would have here at ADF Fit. Well, welcome to ADF Fit's bar room. Today we're going to bring a beautiful bar class to you right in your beautiful home. You've seen a few things, which would be a mat, a chair, a sturdy bar, something that would keep you safe and effective to do this awesome workout at home. I'm Sarah Adio, and my beautiful friend Siva we've been working together probably 24 years. We'll be demoing, I'll be talking, helping you get the best effect and efficiency of this beautiful bar that I have loved for almost 30 years. So here we go. Okay, Siva, she's gonna start at the bar. Again, you'll need a surface that will be at that hip height or right at that rib area. Chairs are welcomed, or anything that's sturdy enough. So she's gonna start in a very neutral position, and she's gonna come back into what we call a squat. I'll face sideways just to see a little bit. So she's gonna come down, press up, inhale, and then squeeze under the tailbone. And again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We'll do a couple of these. Again, we're just gonna start with a very basic warm up. As we warm up, we're gonna go through bigger ranges of motion and then a little bit more, the finer motions and a stretch. So she's gonna give us about 2 more. We're asking about 8 of these to get going. So 2, inhale, and then exhale, lengthening up. 1 more, I'm gonna ask her to hold. So in this moment, she's gonna come down and hold into a 90-degree angle, and she's gonna pitch her hips forward. Once she's done that, she's gonna give you little pulses just to put heat. And 8, and 7, and 6. You know she's smiling, just 4, it's supposed to be a little fun. 3, and 2, and 1. She's gonna push yourself all the way up and lengthen to a calf raise. So we're gonna open those, I like to say this word phalanges, because that's what they are, and drop down to the heels. So she's gonna come down, up, lift, and squeeze, and down. 1, breath, exhale, 2. Down, 1, exhale, and 2. Pressing straight up and lengthening the quads, tailbone drops, shoulders are open in the back. She's gonna give me 3, and breath, opening those toes, 2, and breath. 1 more to stay. She's gonna go down, up and hold. Come all the way up, calf raise. So now she's gonna drop her heels, just her heels, to come up and hold. Come up and hold. And she's gonna give me calf, and then drop, and lift and press, and lift and press. When I say lift, that means she's contracting the calf and then stretching them back down. So 4, this is very important to get these feet and the calves work together. 2, she's gonna hold up on 1. Now she's gonna call what I call a paddle. She's gonna drop 1 knee, right knee, and press her heel down and shift the hips. We're gonna go 10, letting it go. 9, there's no structure, just finding fluidity in those hips. 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. She's gonna open her legs up a little wider. We're gonna take a deep stretch down and release. Relax the shoulder blades, lift the chin up and hold. 4 into the heels, 3 in the back, 2, take a deep breath, exhale, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bringing our feet together, we're gonna work into a lunge to get those hips going. This will also progress later into an exercise. So again, familiar of what we're gonna do, and then add it back in later on. So she's gonna step back on her right foot, I'll show you on my left, into a 290-degree lunge. Again, my hands would be here. She's gonna press up and come in and do the same foot. Brush back and go. 1, lengthen, same thing as that squat that we did. We're just now isolating both hips. 2 more. 2, last one, she's gonna hold and press. Nice neutral spine, shoulders back and pulse. And 8, and 7. Making sure when you do this type of exercise, it's really important that you don't rotate or pronate in 4 and 3, that glute is tracking 2, and she's gonna hold on 1. Once she does that, she's gonna stretch her back knee and then press down and lift and down and lift. In this world, we're gonna stay 6 feet apart, and I'm gonna have her reach and press. Go forward. My biggest instinct is gonna wanna touch somebody, so I'm gonna work against that for all of you. And 2, 1 more, and she's gonna press back and hold into that heel. She's gonna walk herself down towards the floor and press back a little bit further, bringing the chin up and hold. You breathe through this, retract, pull, press. 4 counts, 3 counts, 2, and she's gonna drop her knee down and take her arms all the way up, release that back toe, and hold. Pressing her spine down, pressing the hips, but lifting, not letting it release. Hold it 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Reaching forward, she's gonna step back into the foot, reach the toes back together to a down dog space. Excellent, Siva, drop that hand and hold. Looking for about 20 seconds to hold this. Once we've done the 20 seconds, she's gonna supple bend her knees, walk herself back into her feet, tuck, and bring herself up into a nice big roll. We'll come back into the bar, we have the other side to do. Take a breath, and at this point, if you need a sip of water, please do. Step forward, see, we're gonna take that left foot now, 4 and 3 and 2, 8 times. Goes 1, press, and 2, press. Now I can put a little bit more heat now that you know what's coming. 4, excellent, Siva, and you okay over there? Thank you. And 2, she's gonna stay and hold on 1. Nice 90-degree angles like we talked before, chin to chest, belly to spine, pulse. 8 and 7 without bouncing the knee. 6, control 5, control 4, 3, 2, hold. She's gonna lengthen that back knee out and let it drop. So a little fluid, and breath, and push, and press. Up 4, good, and 3, nice, Siva, and 2, she'll give yourself 1 more, 1 to hold, lengthen, and then reach towards the ground, chin up as best as you can, rib to spine, holding, 8 and 7 and 6, 5, 4, releasing the knee down, and she's gonna scoop up into that rib cage and hands, pressing but lengthening into that tailbone, not letting the back take the load. Breath in, breath out, dropping the shoulders and hold. Again, roughly 20 seconds, 3, 2, and she's gonna come back and pull herself all the way up. So if you need a sip of water, please do that now. We're gonna come down into the mat, and she's gonna face you into a push-up position. Modifications, there's so many ways you can do this. I'm asking roughly 15 reps. When I talk in that language, 15 should be difficult. It should not be 15, oh, that was a piece of cake. It's taking that effort over time the best that you can. Changing modifications, you can be on your toes, you can be wider than the mat, you can be on your knees. When the people, go ahead, Siva, sorry, she's gonna start it. So when you do a push-up though, and I like to touch, it's a little difficult, is that the glutes have to be activated. Why? Because the belly works together. We call antagonistic. It works together to protect. You can work your abs and your glutes just as much here than anything else when our mind and our bodies really connect. Love that. So she's gonna give me 4 more. Inhale, exhale, 3, and a push-up's made to accent on the way up. And 2, now to add a little spice in, she's gonna hold. We call isometric, and just stay right there. She's gonna give me a little tilt of her tailbone, so squeeze and release. 8, exhale, 7, so the chest is holding. 6, belly, 5 little tilts, 4 little tilts, 3, and 2, and release back. Child's pose, if you can, open the spine, knees, pressing back. Again, activating the intercostal, those muscles in between, trying to release, open, press, asking about 20 some seconds. Just go 4 more in this case, 3, 2, and 1. She's gonna face you, and you're gonna face her. And we're gonna do a little C crevice action. So straight legs I like to start with. Why? Hip flexor connection with that spine when we're not really ready to go deep into a 45-degree angle at the knee. That could be problematic over time. So very basic today. We start with straight legs. So Siva's gonna take, you're gonna touch your weights, and you're gonna grab the 3s and 5s and place it around her. Now we have our lovely balls here. Playground balls, I'll put suggestions out there. We've got these online. They're very squishy. You can push or pull. You can let more in and out with that air. But that I'll put online again. That will be recommended. So we're gonna go straight leg Siva, and then you're gonna start with your, you pick 3s or 5s, my friend. It comes down to you. You may change this. I always tell people, The weights are there for what? Fun, okay? It's how you move the weights, how they're with you. They're the load. So the more you're effectively or efficiently moving, the better off the weights will then adhere and make you stronger, no matter if they're even light weights over time. So she's gonna come into a reach position.
And do you want it to be?
We're gonna do a little flexion there. So that means she's gonna extend her heels out, not her toes. So a very nice vertical spine. And she's gonna just take her lower back and her glutes and give me a little tilt and release. Just a little tuck and release and a tuck. In my world, and when I used to dance a lot, I call these the popcorn because you accent the positive, which is your assets, correct? So she lifts and squeezes and lifts and squeezes. This gets our mind and body before we start getting into more actively deeper stretch or contraction. This allows the mind and body to say, okay, this is what I have to start with. So 4 and 3 and 2, she's gonna hold that squeeze and she's gonna roll her lumbar back down 2 counts, so 1 deep, 2 hold. She'll roll herself back up, 3 and 4, keeping it rounded. Back 1 and 2, up 3 and 4, beautiful. 1, squeeze your glutes, abs pull you through. Glutes under, abs back. I'm asking for about 12 to 15 reps on this. So in the case of that, we're gonna just give ourselves 2 more. Press back, 2 and 1. She's gonna come back and hold. Excellent. Rounding her ribs forward, she's gonna pulse her arms in and in using chest. Goes 8, 7, 6, breath 5, breath 4, neck 3, 2, hold 1. The right arm's gonna go straight up. Pull it down in the left arm goes left and pull. Drop the ribs, press down. Shoulder, chest back, in and back. Go 7 and 6. You okay down there? And 5. I'm used to hovering people. 4 and 3, and a little more music. 2, hold it up on one seival, 1, and then both arms. She's gonna bring it down into an open port de bras, and then bring it back up on top. Now making sure you see your weights and peripheral vision, and then lift. You don't wanna take it in the top of the trap, you wanna come under that with the chest or the back line as best as you can. So you can go down and reach. Exhale, 4, up, and 3, good. And 2, you're gonna hold down, 1, 1. Turn the palms under and up. So from here, she's gonna keep her back. Go ahead, see what you want. She's gonna keep her back contract. That's why I started with this open and close motion. Because now this rotators in the shoulder blades can really go boom at a little more tempo. 8, relax the hands, which she's doing perfectly. Yeah, remember the weights are there for a ride, not to do the work. You have 4, I told you I could wrap, and 3, and 2, 1 more, 1 face back and down. She's gonna lift and press and lift, 2 more pieces, and 8, you okay? 7, this is how she is in class no matter what I give this child. And 5, so if you can look at this smile, 4, this will inspire you right there. 3, and 2, and 1, accent goes up and up, last piece goes 12, 11, 10, glutes 9, add 8, arms are given, 4, 3, 2, and roll yourself all the way up. Excellent. Releasing the weight, she's gonna come back into her second set of push-ups. Out of 15 for the sake of this, we're gonna only do 8 just to go over 4 one more time. Inhale, exhale, tailbone under, shoulders back, stacked, and back. She's gonna give her breath in, exhale, and press up. So modification, she's doing awesome with the thighs. A lot of people wanna bring their feet up. See, could you bring your feet up? No, I'm sorry, bring your feet up. Yeah. So what this happens here, she's gonna keep going. The pressure on the kneecap gets a little funky. So if you feel that's where you need to go, make sure your feet are together. Again, that sense of the body and mind, if something is touching tactile, you'll get a little more out of that muscle strength. See if it just 2 more, honey. And 2, 1 more, 1. And she's gonna slide right into a plank, which is a forearm plank. Very basic movement, gets used all the time. Stacking up, belly to spine. She's gonna go back into this little pelvic tilt. She's gonna go squeeze and squeeze, lengthen, boom, underneath. Breath is small. Exhale, 8 and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. Lifting that right leg up. She's going to point the toe and flex. Point, flex, 12, 11, 10, isolating, and 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. She's going to lift and lift and lift, getting that back in, ready to work. 8, 7, 6, 5, good, 4 and 3 and 2, and take that foot down. If you need a break, please do that now onto the knees or change at any level. If you can continue, left foot will come up. She'll point and flex, and point and flex. Good, making sure the hips stay square. Feeling your navel square off to the floor. 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 back. 4 and 3, 2, hold the point. Shoulders back, ribs in, realign yourself. Breath in, breath out. It goes up and up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, finish 3, finish 2, and release. She'll push underneath into a child's pose to get that posterior back. Open up again. Breath in, breath out. Navel to spine. Again, I'm asking 20 seconds. Right now, we'll just do a few more seconds to work this out. 4, 3, she'll soften the knees, work herself into it. Drop and roll herself all the way up. 4, 3, 2, excellent, and 1. She's gonna take the bar, I'm gonna head to the bar. We'll do 2 parts of the bar, we'll finish on the floor. Again, this is just a little bit of work that you can do and repeat 2 to 3 times, or 1 set just to begin to get that familiarity into your body, understand what we're talking about. So again, we're gonna look for that ball. You're gonna grab that ball. And she's gonna place it in the soft tissue of her knees right in here. I'm gonna start with a flat foot. It's one basic way to just get a good workout into the legs, but learning posture correctly is, again, key to success. Dancing my whole life, the basic class, as people will attest, is the hardest class to do in your life. If you add all this fancy stuff in, you get lost in translation. So that being said, she's gonna slide her feet for her under our bar, so slide under. With the chair, you will not. The chair will be a little bit where you have to sit back and pitch a little more forward. So she's gonna come back in 4 counts and fall. 1, 2, and 3, hold 4. We're just gonna stay right there. Again, if I had a chair, I might have to go a little bit further in with an elbow that felt like it wasn't gonna be as secure as a 90-degree angle. No big deal, still efficiently and effective. Okay, at this position, she's just gonna make sure her navel's pulled in. Yep, and her tailbone straight down, which she is. Relaxing her phalanges, her toes. The ball is in, she's just gonna press, keeping the 90-degree and go up through the feet and down. So I will always ask for a little larger number on this because of larger, bigger muscle groups. But in the sake of time and effort here, we're gonna go 10 more out of 20. So 10 and press, and 9 and press, pushing, pull. So both actions through the legs makes help. And 4 and 3, excellent. And 2, last one, and 1, you're gonna tilt. Taking that rib right there, arm straight, tuck. Tuck position, your tuck, tush, tuck, and neutral. So making sure the back stays flat and she comes under, just like we did in that position on the floor. Squeezing the glutes, release. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release. What happens over time is you feel a little shake. Why? Effort? Sure. Time will affect the muscle. Muscle can only take so much of this load. So you should feel some type of vibration in the thighs. You're not weak, it has nothing to do, it's just through time. 4 left, 4 under the hip, 3, exhale, 2 important, and 1 to hold. Holding that, she's gonna squeeze that ball in and in and in and in, and 10 and 9 out of 20, 8, 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3, hold neutral spine. So she'll go back to neutral. I'm gonna start over. I'll take it into 15 reps, into 10 reps, 8, 4, and 2. That can last a little bit. So if you need to step out of that, she would come up out of the stretch, take a breath, she could take the ball out, sip your water, and come back into the same position. We're gonna do it for your sake. We're gonna do a set of 15. Ready, Missy? And push, and 1, and 2, good. 3, and 4, relaxing, 5, ease yourself at 9, and 6, and 7, 8, 9, 10, 5 left, 5, and 4, and 3, really small, 2 a little smaller, and 1. Pelvic tilts, go. 15. Resisting your back, resisting the back, resisting. That's where you need to get a bigger shape because her opposition has to work. Otherwise, letting go and letting go. You have 4, 3, and 2. Hold and exhale, 1, Siva. For her, because I know her well, what you could change if you wanted was she could go down deeper, or she could come back up a little higher and figure out what level her body will allow her to finish with. So stay right there in your tuck position. Tuck, tuck your tushy. Inner thigh goes 15, 14, 13, 12. Shallow, 10, 9, 8. Excellent. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold. Neutral her tailbone back out. Push up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna take the ball out and she's gonna stretch her beautiful quads. Why talk for a second? So again, the 20 set, a 15 set, you can go 12, 10, 8. Everything will be written out. Cueing on the sense of stretch in between, it's important. If you wanna take 2 rounds, meaning a 20 and a 15 set of ball, then you would stretch in this position. Go back and finish your 12, 10, 8. Stretch and move on. So that's exactly what we would do. How do you feel?
Excellent.
She feels excellent. She moves so beautifully that it's pretty inspiring to see this woman
so
move.
much fun.
We're gonna go back down into the floor for a moment and finish our push-ups, 1 C curve, and then I'm gonna work some posterior back work on the floor, and you're done. So go ahead, sip your water.
Push-ups.
Push-ups, I love 3 sets. First set's, always okay. Second, get into it. Third's amazing. So we're gonna take out of the 15 reps, just making sure the hips are lifted. And the sake of time and effort, we're gonna go just 4 more deep ones. So 4, keeping your hips up a little more, Siva. This is hard, and when you don't have a mirror at home or someone like myself over you, the biggest mistake people do in push-ups is we call the doors. They let go. That's why that belly spine is so important to understand even on that tilt, how they work together. And that's through feeling of what that sense of where your belly is pulling in. It doesn't burn. I was like, I don't really feel it, but it should just feel like it's pulling in and feeling tight. Okay. So stretching through that lumbar back. When you're ready, we're going to go C curve, but I'm going to give you your fancy ball back.
Thank you.
Grab your ball. It could be a kid's ball. It doesn't have to be fancy. I was kidding. I just like the colors. So in this position of a C curve, more Pilates and Lottie Burkers, which I've studied, which is Barre method, this is a more complex position. So if she started with this, what she's into, the variation she could go back into, because when you in this, the hip flexor, which originates into my lumbar back, starts to take the load. Why? Imbalances, weakness, strengths, it just happens. It's not a big deal. It should sometimes. As you get progressively stronger, levels change, you get away from that. So don't work through that discomfort. What she would do, and I would direct you to do, is you go in that C curve, see if I won't touch you, is she would then take her ball back out, place it, she would lengthen her legs back out. That's one way. Hip flexor still could be a little buggy. What she would do is rotate out, first position. So alleviates and takes a little bit more in those, we call the 6 deep rotators. So those are the variations really quick. Anytime that you see any of this bar work, you go from a bent knee to a straight leg to a rotation. This will get you out of it pretty fast, and if it still doesn't, then you'll need to stretch and come back. Not a big deal. Again, it's progression work, time over effort. Okay, put the ball in. And see if it's pretty strong. Sometimes we go even a little further up with our legs. It's all good. So C curve, bring our feet underneath her, and we're gonna slide the feet together. Just a couple basic movements and then work in the arms. The abs are given because you're in a contracted state. So is your glute. Why? When you go backwards in life, what muscle to use? Your glutes, which I call your assets. So they get used all the time. Sorry, Siva. Hold your position. So come into our C curve. We're gonna work the arms. I'm gonna go similar arms and add a couple pieces onto this. At any point, change your levels. Ready? 4 and 3 and 2. Pulse arms. Goes in and in. Port de bras goes 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Right arm goes right and pull. Goes left and pull. Goes right. Exhale, left, forward, left. Go forward, left, pull. 3, ball tight, sits. 2, hold up. 1, bring them back. Goes down and lift. Goes down and lift. You okay in your lumbar back, Siva? Yep. So her levels would come up. Her feet would stay together. Her ball will still be contracted. She could always go. Could you show one leg? So drop 1 foot and she could hold it 1. A lot of Pilates work, again, comes from this. 2 left. 2. 1 more and 1. Hold it down for me. You're going to take that flip-flop and palm and palm and palm and palm. Squeezing the ball, 6 bones. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Palms face and back. Go down and lift, down and lift. Just gonna move her water so she doesn't hit that rep. Holding the ribs under. It gets a little hard here because her arms start to fatigue. We're gonna push out. So reestablish that sits bone as I'm finishing with her. So that and that lumbar. 4, that's better, Siva. And 3 makes it a little bit more efficient. 2, not harder, but efficient. 1, hold. She's gonna take her palms and we're gonna take them flat. I'm gonna add 2 pieces. She's gonna push out. Palms stay flat, baby. Stop, palms flat. There. No, just keep them flat. Keep them flat. Sorry, palms. And palms. So I'm gonna have her reach a little more forward towards me. Reason is, if she goes too far back, it starts taking too much in her trap in this type of position, doesn't like it. So stay forward and 4 and 3 and 2, hold, like I said, 2 parts left, and lift, shoulders, go. 15, squeezing the ball, 12, exhale, 11, ribs, 10, I constantly cue. And 9, even with someone who's very seasoned like this, there's always times our body and mind just let go for a moment, that's okay. 4, 3, 2, and 1, she's gonna bring her arms together. She's gonna C-curve into her elbows to her thighs, she's gonna push back. You got it, Siva. She's gonna exhale and she's gonna inhale. So remember we talked about in the beginning, this is your glutes. What gets you back, what pushes you back? Okay, posterior. 8, and boom, exhale. 7, again, if you get into trouble here, this is where you really could, over time, you would change your level in here. 5 more, Siva. 5, press, and 4. One of my favorite exercises is this. And 3, it's complex, but efficient. 2, she's gonna accent for 8, and 7 through the breath. 6, shoulders under. 5, and 4, squeeze the ball. 3, 2, and release. Take that ball out. I'm gonna show you on a great stretch for your hip flexor. Remember how we come back? In fact, I'll get to the floor. So when we do this, you're gonna take that left leg out and put your right knee behind. Now, her and I have a little flexibility. So this is a 1 cue for you. If you're like, oh my gosh, this is hard to do, soften the front foot so you can get a little more success out of that hip back. Okay, because this is important. This is this type of stretch, if you want to go deeper or go into mermaid, see, you're welcome to. Hip flexors, quads work together all the time. So this is where we'll get the pain in the back over time. So use this stretch, even if you don't do this bar class today or something. So another level would be pushing out or pushing the leg behind or pressing and opening up. So many ways, again, I asked about 20 seconds. When you stretch in these positions or any positions, keep this in the head. Don't push through a stretch. It should feel slightly uncomfortable, but it shouldn't be like, what? Why am I holding this? When you do that, you're pushing past your own limit. Your nervous system, your body are saying, please don't. So pull back, find that right stretch for you. When you come down, it's just gonna shimmy the other side. You got it. So far, so good. Now let's get you organized, that's all good. So a different level again. If I need to change it, I'm gonna hold it here, rotate my hip if I want a little bit more. Glute helps activate that hip flexor. She can go up into her stretch, a little more Pilates stretch, or you can find this one right in here. Roughly 20 seconds, finishing out that stretch, breathing in, breathing out. So after that, Siva, we're gonna come down and I'll have you shimmy into the center of your belly. I'm just gonna do one simple belly or prone stretch or strength on this. Yep, perfect. She uses a towel. Some people like to, in the pelvis area, sometimes roll up towels or to alleviate if you have a pelvic tilt or a little bit of that. Do babies and things like that, it does happen. So this is very basic floor work that we do in bar class. So she's gonna, again, drop her head and relax down. She's gonna shimmy her feet together. I'm so used to touching people. Okay, yeah, so what lifts you up again? It's gonna be your glutes. Straight legs, glutes. So this is a wonderful exercise if you're feeling weaker in that area because it's all dependent on that assets, aka the glutes. So she's gonna lengthen her toes, which she's already doing. She's gonna drop her shoulders, rest, and lengthen up. It's not gonna go very far yet. So when she holds that isometric, you're gonna hold it 20, 19, 18, just to get them acclimated, get them to understand they're gonna start lifting from that back end. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, hold little pulses, up and up. Now moving through that isotonic press, 15, squeezing the knees. She's gonna keep going. A lot of times people go posterior or behind and they feel weaker. They'll start to bend the knee here. Make the quads work. Make them work because that's what's keeping your knees straight is only quads. This is working on the other side. 4, 3, 2, and 1. She's gonna fold her feet up into a flex 90-degree position. Flex, trying to keep her feet together, and this gets a little bit more trickier. So she's gonna try to lift up and then tap the knees down. Lift, 8 and 7, we're not gonna do as many. 6, 5, excellent. 4, 3, 2, hold, hold, hold. This is that shake, that's that max effort. 4, excellent. 3 and 2, release on 1. Now she's gonna rotate into a first position, or some people call it frog. And now she's gonna bring her legs back up, which is the hamstring. So she's gonna fold, bend your knees, fold, keeping the knees a little wider. So like a little more first, open up wider, your knees, yep. So that's that. So it looks like this standing, but I'm gonna take it behind me. She's got a nice press. If I wanted, I could not, and and you have to do this with yourself and think about this, is pry her feet apart. Why? That effort, like even we talk about, is connecting the back end, the posterior part of that chain as best that you can. She's gonna accent up and lift and lift and lift and lift. 10, 9, excellent, 8 and 7 and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. She's gonna stretch her legs away from herself, stretch them away, and then bring them back in and stretch them again. So down. She's still activating her quad when she goes out, pulling the hamstring from the back end. So there's a lot of effort, all at the front and the back end of the whole leg. So 4, inhale, I want you to exhale. 3 for that effort. Excellent, Siva, and 2, 1 more, hold it back, and we'll do one more time with the presses. Small, heels together. Bring your heel, go back where you were. Heels back together. Just no, where you were. Keep your knees open. No, that's right, just keep your knees open. So she's gonna hold it right there and press up one more time. Heels really trying to push, good. 15, so the more we push, the more the hamstring. This is only lifting the glutes. 8 and 7 and finish. 5, 4, 3, 2, and release.
Can I make an editorial comment about that one? If
Yes.
you shake,
Effort.
just shake and
Yeah.
just do the best you can.
It's effort. It's how you push your body against
Yeah.
itself. That's it. So she's gonna stretch on her back. So go on your back. I'm gonna finish last piece.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll do a little Pilates, simple. I get to this in class at times and people think, oh, we're done, but I always add a little something. I can't help it. But we're gonna go from the left leg out and she's gonna extend her right leg straight up, just like the regular Pilates reach. She's gonna scoop under. So once this is done, as you can see, wonderful flexibility. So if someone's struggling, which would be a bend, could you bend your knees, Eva? This is, we don't want this. Why? Because I say it all the time in class. We just did the back end. This is contracting, okay? So we don't want to contract. We're trying to lengthen what we just contracted. So what she needs to do then, if she has, or anyone is, again, the struggle is real, you need to walk it down a little bit. You want to have success. The only way to do it is to push the leg away from you. If you need an extra assistance, you can use a towel that would press through, or you could use your hands and walk yourself up on that. So I'm gonna have her go back up into her own level. She's gonna extend her toes for me. Yeah, and then pressing her hamstring and her quad into the floor. Reaching through the ribs, away from that, I call it that scoop and hold. She's gonna take little presses through the navel, ribs. So it's press and pull, press and pull, press and pull. It's not pull. So there's a press with the core. Press, and 8 and 7 and 6, good. If you get into trouble, scoop the elbows a little bit more versus around the neck. 3, 2, she's gonna hold, take a breath in, switch. 3, other leg, 2, hold it first, get it acclimated. Hold, hold, shoulder, rib, and pulse. 1 and 2, and rib, not shoulders goes. 8, excellent. 7, driving the breath. I tell people it's like blowing a balloon. You gotta push it out, you can't pull it small. 4 and 3 and 2, hold on, 1, switch it. See if we're gonna do single. She's gonna gently lift, exhale, navel spine switch. Navel spine switch. 10 and 9 and 8 and 7 to finish. 6, 5, excellent. 4, resisting the hips. 3 and 2, 1 more. 1, and fold it into your body and release. Take your knees to the right, Siva, and open your chest left. Okay, first, basic, simple, effective ways to use the bar your body in ADF bar class.